They say a single idea can change your fate, but for one poor beggar at a railway station, it did something far greater. It gave him a new life. This isn't just another story about success. It's about how one unexpected encounter turned a man who had nothing into someone who had everything. The railway station was alive with chaos. Screeching trains, hurried footsteps, the scent of smoke and tea. Amid all this noise sat Ravi, a thin, tired man with a tin cup by his side. Every day he watched thousands of people walk past him, each step echoing his invisibility. He had spent years at that station. Same corner, same plea. "Spare some change, sir, please." Sometimes he got a coin, sometimes just a glance. That morning, however, something unusual happened. As he sat watching the endless crowd, his eyes caught sight of a man stepping onto the platform. Confident, calm, and sharply dressed. His shoes shone like mirrors, his coat crisp, and his watch glimmered under the station lights. Ravi's heart leapt. This man must be rich. If anyone can spare something, it's him. He got up, hurried forward, and stretched out his hand. "Sir, a little help, please." The businessman barely glanced at him. For a moment it seemed he would walk away. Then he stopped, turned, and looked directly at Ravi. His gaze was steady but kind. "Tell me something," he said. "Do you always take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" Ravi blinked, confused. "I'm just a beggar, sir. I have nothing to give." The man smiled faintly. "If you believe you have nothing to give, then you also have nothing to receive." He adjusted his jacket. In life, everything is an exchange. Offer something of value, and the world will give you something in return. Before Ravi could reply, the man stepped onto the train. The whistle blew, and within seconds, he was gone. Ravi stood frozen. The man's words were playing in his mind. If you believe you have nothing to give, you also have nothing to receive. That night, he couldn't sleep. His thoughts raced faster than the trains. What can I possibly give? I don't own anything, not even myself. The next morning, as he sat lost in thought, something caught his eye. A small patch of wildflowers blooming near the tracks. Their petals were bright and alive, untouched by the dust around them. For a moment he simply stared. And then, like a spark in the dark, an idea lit up in his mind. What if I offer something, no matter how small? What if I give people a flower when they give me a coin? He picked a few flowers gently, cleaned them, and waited at his spot. When the first traveler dropped a coin into his hand, Ravi smiled and offered a flower in return. The man paused, surprised, then smiled back. "Thank you," he said. For the first time in years, Ravi felt something he hadn't felt before. Dignity. That day he made more money than usual. The next day he brought more flowers. Soon, people began calling him the flower man of the station. Children waved at him, passengers smiled, and strangers who once ignored him now stopped to chat. Weeks passed. Ravi noticed something interesting. When he had flowers, people gave generously. When he didn't, the coins slowed down. He laughed softly to himself. So it's true. People like to give when they receive. He began arranging flowers more beautifully, even learning which colors people liked most. His hands, once used to begging, were now creating something of value. But life wasn't all easy. Some mocked him, calling him foolish. One morning, a child accidentally stepped on his flowers, crushing them. Ravi felt defeated for a moment, the businessman's words echoing faintly in his memory. Then he took a deep breath and whispered, "If I want to keep receiving, I must keep giving." He picked new flowers and started again. A few weeks later, as fate would have it, the same businessman returned to the station. Ravi recognized him instantly and ran over with a bright smile. "Sir," he said proudly, "this time I have something to give you." He handed the man a small bunch of flowers, freshly picked and fragrant. The businessman looked at him, surprised, then smiled warmly. "Ah, so you finally understood. Today you are not a beggar. You are a businessman." Ravi laughed, his eyes shining. "I didn't understand at first, but now I do. People aren't giving me money out of pity anymore. They're buying my flowers. I'm not asking anymore. I'm trading." The train whistled again, and the man stepped aboard. Before the doors closed, he looked back and said, "I didn't give you money that day. I gave you a mirror. You just needed to see who you really were." Months later, the same platform saw a very different Ravi. He now sold flowers from a small stall, clean clothes, confident smile, and eyes that spoke of gratitude. One afternoon, as trains arrived and departed, a familiar voice called out, "Ravi?" It was the same businessman. Ravi bowed slightly. "Sir, welcome back. I now supply flowers to 3 stations and 2 markets." The man smiled, shaking his hand. "I knew you would. You've learned the oldest rule of success. We only receive when we give." Ravi nodded softly. "Yes, sir. I was never truly poor. I was just unaware of what I already had, my ability to give." As the businessman's train departed again, Ravi looked at his blooming flowers and whispered, "The world doesn't reward need, it rewards value." And that day, the beggar who once lived on coins finally understood wealth, not in money, but in mindset. Your greatness isn't defined by what you own, it's shaped by what you offer. When your thoughts change, your future begins to change too.